Hello guys, today let's discuss this particular scenario in a workflow. So here we can see a requester. When requester is submitting, it is going to global specialist. So global specialist is assigned to this role. So ZCMDG underscore test. Suppose that is having these two users, for example. These two users, ZS for MDG 71 and S for MDG7. These are two user IDs in my system. So this particular role is assigned to these two users, which I can show in PFCGT code. So in users we can see these two user IDs assigned. Now in this, when global specialist is clicking on approve button, generally he will have approve and reject options. Clicks on rejects option, then this workflow is going to an end. If he clicks on approve, it will go to further step, and here we can see global data steward. So in same way, here there is another role ZCMDG underscore test 1. So this role is assigned to only this particular user. Now he will also have options activate or reject option. So if he clicks on activate, this CR will get final check approved and data will be transferred to active area. If he clicks on reject, again this is going to an end. So this is the scenario guys, but when client asks this particular requirement, suppose global specialist is not having any role, like he is just display only field or anything like that. So if requester is, suppose here S for MDG7, if requester is S for MDG7, then in this case when he is submitting it, generally because requester is S for MDG7, after submitting it will go to global specialist. So in this case, because global specialist is having this role and this role is having these two user IDs, it will again route to S for MDG7 and ZS for MDG71, these two user IDs. So in this case, because he is submitting and he is only the approver, he is having approve and reject options again. As soon as he submits, after refreshing he will get these options. So this should not happen, because even though he is requester, he should not get an option to approve or reject. Instead, client may ask if global specialist is having the requester role, the one who has requested here, that means this is having S for MDG7 in this particular role. In this particular condition, we have to skip global specialist and then it should directly route to this approver, global data steward, which is second level approver here. So from this we have to directly route to this directly in this particular condition. This is the requirement guys. Now we have to think how can we achieve it. So first of all, I am having this workflow in my system, this one. It is having approve, it is having this already workflow. Let's check the workflow which is already existing in the system. So I am going to nwbc nwbc here I want to go to customer governance. So our CR type is Z cust1 P1. I am going to customer governance menu. Here I am going to customer maintenance. Click on new organization. Here we can see create customer test. So create customer test means Z cust1 P1. I can see in the MDG IMG. Now I am submitting with my user ID. I can check my user ID here in system status. I can see with which user ID I have logged in now. Here I can see my status, my user. So my user is logged to S4 MDG7 user ID. So I am just closing this. Now I logged into S4 MDG7 user ID. Now I am trying to, so I am clicking on new organization and here create customer test. So here I am giving a Birla grouping or any grouping. Now I am giving A, B, K as customer name, clicking on check and submitting it. So I have submitted change request 259 here. Now I am refreshing it. Now I can see status has been updated. So status has been updated based on BRF plus here to be considered and approved. So it is at first level approver. Now because I am already in first level approver, I am getting approve and reject options. So there is no sense of having approve and reject options because I am not having any option to edit here. So in this case what I have to do? Anyway, I have option to approve. So now I am clicking on approve. After doing this, it will go to next level approver. So if it goes to next level approver, we can see status will has to get updated to final check to be performed. So I am just refreshing this and I can see status as final check to be performed here. Now I am not having access. That is because here I can show Z for MDG71 is the user ID assigned to this particular role. Now I am going to workflow log and now you can see Z for MDG71 is a processor now. That means if I take his access, instead of doing that I am just going to SWIA and I will enter work item number 389361. 389361. I am just clicking on without check. I am taking his administration. And I am clicking on activate. So when he activates at second level approver, now this CR has to get final check approved. Now I am just clicking on refresh button. We can see it is final check approved. That means it is working as expected now, but this requirement has to get fulfilled now. It has to directly when this particular requester ID is already present in global specialist, it has to directly go to global data steward. This is the requirement. Now what I have to do? Now I am going to workflow BRF plus here. Here I am making some change. Currently we are having only 5 columns here. Because I have hidden irrelevant ones. Now I will restore column dynamic selection service. Now I can see it is showing here. Before using service anyway we have to create one service in MDG. So I am going back to MDG. Now general settings, process modeling and workflow rule based workflow. Here I can see define service names based on rule based workflow, and here we can see one service already there. I am just adding new service here. Let's name that service as z skip. Z skip. What is this? Global specialist. Global specialist. I am maintaining description as to skip global specialist if requester is also global specialist, shortly GS. That's it. Saving this in some tr. Now I will use this service name here. So whatever I have created, that service name I am adding here in dynamic agent selection. Now save it and activate. Now we have to use this service inside badi. So from MDG let's go to badi, general settings, process modeling and workflow. Here we can see rule based workflow and business add-ins. So totally there are 5 baddies here. So in this case we have to use dynamic agent selection in rule based workflow. I am going to this ZEI skip global specialist. I am just giving this implementation name as enhancement and short text to skip global specialist if requester is same. Now click this, we can maintain local object here. I'm just pasting that, and here it is badi, right? So I'm just giving BI as my naming convention. So here implementation class generally GCL underscore maintaining same name, skip global specialist. Click on this empty implementation, empty class, local object. Now this enhancement will get created and class will also get created. So this is enhancement implementation, new one, and this is badi, and inside implementation class we can see it got created. Now inside filter values let's go and maintain combination with that service name. So in this skip global specialist is the service name, comparator is equal to, and click on OK. That's it. Save this and don't activate now. I am just going to implementation class because here we have something we have to do which we should not use directly in implementation. That is, now I have opened in display mode. When I am trying to go inside this particular method, it is showing as not been implemented. That means this is just having this interface, but this interface is not in use. So what I have to do, I am going to change mode and I am double clicking this. Now this has been implemented. Now I have to activate all of those for this class, public, private and all sections. Now this class has been activated. So let's see here. To skip global specialist is getting called once requester submits this here. That means this condition alias is having and ampersand. Same condition alias data, this is there inside user agent decision table. Here we can see step type, user group number, and agent type and agent value. So this data we will get as a changing parameter in this place, CT user agent group. So now I am just modifying that based on some condition. So in this case the condition is whenever user agent group is having user agent table inside this, if this user agent table is having user type as AG means it is of type role. If this is having role as the fixed value, then obviously user will have role name as user value here, because now we have to check this particular role name is having the requester ID or not. Suppose in this case ZC MDG underscore test is there. So user value will be ZC MDG underscore test as a changing parameter. Now we have to fetch what are the user IDs that are present inside this particular role. Now here ZCMDG test is having, as we know, ZCMDG 471 and S4MDG7 as user IDs present in this particular role. But from program we have to find out how can we get that role. I already know AGR underscore name is the role name. AGR underscore users is the table which will have this data. So SC11 AGR underscore users is the table which will have all the data which is related to roles. So particular role is having this user ID. This role is also having this user ID. Like that, everything we can see here, AGR users. But instead of doing that select statement and all, we can directly use a function module, which is more important. I can show that function module here. RSRA underscore users of AGR get. What this function module will do. Now I am passing ZCMDG underscore test in this and clicking on this one. I am getting two results. We can see these two results and these two usernames we are getting. In the same way, let's use this function module and get the result from the program. So I am just copying this function module and let's go back to that particular code first. Let's modify this. Now we have to check what role is there inside LT user agent group. CT user. So because this is an internal table loop, yet we have to use CT user agent group. Assigning field symbol CT, now LS user agent group. This is the structure. I am ending loop here. Now we are going row by row into this particular internal table. Here I will do, because this table is not straightforward, this table is having a particular structure, these two are direct variables, and this one again it is of data type table type. Now we will get step type and agent group, but not table directly. So to get table, again we have to loop into this particular one, user agent. So that's what I will do now. Loop at ls user agent group in this user agent, assigning field symbol ls user agent. Now again I will do end loop. So this is fine. Now inside this loop I have to get I have to check if that is AG or not. If ls user agent equal to, in this user type equal to AG, if this is assigned as role, then, and if I am doing this, so if role is assigned, then obviously user type and user value will be role name. So I am using that function module which I have copied. So this function module, as I have copied, I am using pattern here and copying that. Click on OK. Remove this space here. Click on OK. So this structure has been copied here. Now AGR name, we have to get ls user agent in this user value. So this user value, generally it will have 100 characters as length by generic. So I will reduce it, because I have, before passing to this function module, if I don't send, if I send 100 characters length as data type here, I will get dump here. So that's why instead of doing that, I am clicking on plus and sending first 30 characters of that, because role name should have 30 characters at max. Now here in table activity group users, let's go into this and try to check this one. So this is a structure AGR users. So same thing I will do here. At top, data LT activity users, type table of AGR underscore users. Now this one I will use here. Copy this and I will get the table details here. That's it. Now I will get those details here. Now again, because this is internal table, I am just looping loop at LT activity users into data ls activity users. Now end loop. Now one by one user details and user IDs will come here. ls activity users. Now because we are getting that here, we have to get uname here. So uname I am trying to keep here. If ls activity user uname is equal to this, if this username is equal to requestor name, we are not getting requestor name here. So to get that one, I am adding one select statement at the top. Select star from generally username from CR number. From CR number means USMD 120C, where USMD C request is equal to at the rate LVCR number. So we are passing it, and select statement, it should be select single. We have to select one, full stop, and into data. So here which one we have to select from that? USMD CREA created by. I think this is the name of creator here. USMD created by, yeah, this is same, into this particular data inline declaration and LV created by. That's it. Now here, if user ID in that particular role is equal to LV created by, and if, then what we have to do? This is equal to created by, then I am just clearing out what are there in this particular user agent group. Instead, I will change it. So date, I am just doing free statement for CT user agent group. After doing this, I am adding new user agent group here. Because I am freeing it, I have to add new one. Now I will add a new variable here, local LT user agent group type table of, no, table is not required because USMD T user agent group, and USMD T user agent group here, because I will just append into this, I don't need table type here. What I will need is USMD S user agent, I suppose, because this one user agent group, and inside this again another table type is there. So I will use that as well. So this is of type structure. Here LT user agent type this. Now here what I have to do is LT user agent, first of all LS user agent group I have to understand. So first of all I will fill LS user agent group. In this particular agent group, let's go here and see to whom we have to route it. So we have to route it to GC MDG test 1. So user agent group is 000 and step type is 8. User agent group is zero 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 and ls user step type equal to 8. Now both are done. Step type we have done and this one is done. Now user agent type and user agent value we have to try to fill from code. AG and ZC MDG test 1. Before filling that, ls user agent, I am just trying to give it directly straightforward the table assignment. User agent is equal to, this is new ABAP format, value, and here we have to give that table type. So value USMD T user agent, value USMD T user agent, this is of table type. Here in USMD T user agent, user type and user value we have to fill it. User type is equal to AG and user value is equal to user value what we have to give, that is role name. So ZCMDG underscore test1 we have to give, ZCMDG underscore test1. Now closing this and assigning this table directly in this one. Now I am freeing this, right? I have to fill it from the structure. So append ls user agent group to ct user agent group. I think this is enough. Let's check. LVCR number is unknown. This is IV. Now just click on check. I think this table cannot be deleted or overwritten within a loop across itself. 21. Yeah, this is already in a loop, right? CT user agent group. So when this particular statement is within a loop, we should not use this type of statements. So that's why this is the reason we have to use a temporary variable for now. That is, I have to add a new one, LT user agent group type USMD T user agent group. That's it. Into LT user agent group. Now let's click on check. Now here in 22 line we are trying to free this. So we should not free that one. Let's leave it as it is. And once it is done, now because this is getting filled here, let's keep one statement at last. If LT user agent group is not initial. If it is not initial, if something gets filled here, Then we have to free LT user agent group. After freeing that, we have to assign CT user agent group to LT user agent group. Now end if. Now check this and activate. I think we are not using this. We are not using this one. I'm just removing and click on save. Activate and let's check now. Now I am going to this table. I am going back to enhancement. And badi and enhancement, we have to activate this. Reactivate. And setting here status as well. CV new CR status equal to here we can show 0 for status, and new change request step also we have to update to 10. Those two things we forgot. So 0 for and CV new step equal to 10. That's it. I am activating this. Now let's check. Go to organization, new organization, create customer test. 264 is CR type, guys. Now I am just giving some grouping and ABB. Clicking on submit. We can see workflow is being processed. Let's wait for some time and just refreshing it. So it is showing final check to be performed. That means it went from requester to global data steward directly. So to confirm that, I just showed you in workflow VRF plus. If it is at first level approver, it will be shown as to be considered and approved. If it is second level approver, it will show final check to be performed. So here what it is showing? Here it is showing as final check to be performed. So this is the status, and in workflow log if we see, it will show Z S4 MDG 71. This is the processor. So from this also I will try to check by submitting from SWIA, just by taking that administration SWIA. Now what is this workflow item number? 389410. Here I will enter same thing, 389410. So I am just without check, I am opening this, copy, and I am just for Google Chrome purpose pasting here. Now I can see activate and reject options. Now after activation, it should get final check approved. Let's check that. Activate. Give it some time. I am just refreshing it. I can see it got final check approved. Now business partner ID got created with name ABP. So that's it guys. So from requester it got skipped to global data steward, and from global data steward it went to final check approved after clicking on activate button. So it is working as expected now. That's it guys for today. Let's see in next sessions.